Hello, Bobby. I am responding to your post for this week's discussion, and I like the theme that you took. The themes that you took: responsibility to client, confidentiality, and competence. And I would like to start with competence. It is very important for us as social workers, counselors, human service workers to be competent or even to be up to date on all of the rules, regulations, what is required, and the ever changing paperwork and standards that are before us as social workers and so forth in that regard. Not only that, the confidentiality is a very big one because if it's not handled correctly, you can lose the trust of your client, and not only lose the trust of your client, but also lose the trust of the organization in which you work for. But even more so importantly, that with the confidentiality, it must be understood that if the client is in the act or has the desire to commit a crime, we have to report it. So, it is at the discretion of, I believe that it is at the discretion of the social worker, counselor, to make sure and be informed of the intent behind a client, because someone can just be upset at a moment and say, ooh, I could kill her or I could kill my child or whatever the case is, and not really mean it. But we must know the intent, and that comes from the responsibility to the client, and that is building that relationship in which the client can trust you or trust the social worker to do what is right and in their best interest. And that is all a part of building relationships. And one thing that I have been understanding and reading, and even in this class, that some of these things can present an ethical dilemma or even a moral dilemma, even as a Christian, put you in a position where you could compromise yourself and your Christianity in the midst of all of that. I have a saying that I live by now, especially when it talks about competence, confidentiality, and the responsibility to the client, that we must operate in an integrity. And integrity, my definition of integrity is what you do when no one is watching. So we must be very careful in what we do and how we do it as the social worker when it pertains to our clients. So thank you again for your post. I really appreciate it. And keep up the good work, and we'll talk soon.